So there's usually so much team bonding that goes on during a normal season. John, I know last season you had your team over to your house. Do any of you guys have plans to spend time with your artists once restrictions are lifted?
Hell, at this point, I'd like plans to hang out with anyone. I think we all want that, but I mean, who knows? I mean, we're all listening to scientists at this point, so who knows when we're going to be able to actually get together? But I mean, yeah, I think we all love that.
Exactly. I don't want to take any bets on how soon anybody can be hanging out with anybody that's not their immediate family. Or
I'd like to see my mom.
I definitely had plans to try to meet with the team, you know, going into the live shows, and even talked about what that would look like. And then obviously the world changed so much over the last 8-9 weeks. But I've been really encouraged by the fact that, you know, we get to connect with these people in a very different way. And at different points, we've all said a version of the same thing, us coaches here in Carson, which is just that, you know, we've had to find new ways to approach connecting with each other beyond just the show as a whole, but in life in general. And that creativity has been, you know, really important for everybody in every walk of life, going through different things. And as you related to the show, you know, we've just had to find new ways to connect with our artists and their families, which I think in turn has actually at least helped me to kind of have a way into coaching, which I didn't know that I would have, which is that when you connect with someone's family and their inner circle who are, in this case, quarantined with them, you get a better sense of how to work with them and what to say that will help them grow or get better, or what to connect that one line from the song in that they haven't quite nailed yet. Maybe it's, you know, their relationship with their brother or their father or their sister. And, you know, I think that's been really special. And I'm hopeful, like everyone else, that the day comes when we're in a very different scenario, and I believe it will. But until then, you know, I think having these different innovative ways of connecting is really exciting and important. And, you know, whatever happens over the next, you know, 6 months to a year, however long it will be, I want to stay connected to not only my people, but the people on this show as well. And obviously my fellow coaches in Carson, my boys' family.
I want to be on a group text with your wives. Because I
Me
notice
too.
I'm the one that texts most. All the guys are like, yes, okay.
You went through the blind auditions, the battle rounds, the knockouts with these artists all right in front of you, 20, 30 feet away, performing. What's it been like going to watching them on a small screen in front of you and kind of experiencing it the same way America does?
I'll go, sure. I was like, wait, who's going?
Anybody.
I think it's a little different, obviously. I mean, I think obviously we'd like to be there in person with them, and it's a, you know, the whole physical energy of this show is a little different. But at the same time, you know, we've said this online or on air or both, that it's really interesting, though, to get to really see people I mean, it's kind of an advantage to the artist to be so comfortable in your home and getting to perform from your house. And some people, you know, might be a little, you know, shy of a huge audience, and this is a huge stage for them. They've never done anything like this yet for a lot of these artists. So in some respects, it's kind of cool that they, you know, really could get out of their way and really just perform really well. But at the same time, for me specifically, it's just kind of hard to not be able to hug them when they succeed, or if you know, if they don't make it. And you know, I think that physical energy is missing, obviously, but it's exciting. We're kind of like this, like with America, we're just kind of like, well, what's gonna happen?
Cool.
Yeah,
Anything else?
I think the weirdest part is not being able to hug them goodbye after they're sent home. It feels a little empty, just having this online interaction with everyone when that moment happens, because you want to be there to comfort them a little bit as well. But I do enjoy seeing them in their home. I do enjoy the fact that they get time in their own creative space to work on the arrangements and work on the songs, so they feel really comfortable. And I feel like some of our artists shine more in that situation where they get to be at home in the place where they normally create and get to work on the arrangements themselves in that space. Whereas being in LA can be kind of foreign for certain people and feel like they're a fish out of water. But when they're home I think musically and creatively, I think some of them shine even more than they would in the LA setting.
So y'all have some pretty awesome partners and spouses, each and every one of you, but how much have your significant others gotten involved helping you guide your remaining team members since y'all have been filming from home now?
Well, Chrissy hasn't helped me coach, but she's definitely helped me film some of our self-filmed adventures over here. We've had to shoot some of our reality segments and our little packages that we film, and she's helped me with that.
All right, who's next up? Kelly?
Oh, my husband is now a lighting technician, an audio visual technician. He's a director, and he's also playing cowboy on our ranch. So no, he's got his hands full. We both definitely have our hands full. But you know, it's not just this job, it's the TV show. It's also making records. Like, we all still make records too. It's a lot of new things happening for us and trying to get it done. But John mentioned something earlier though, like, even for the artists on The Voice, you know, this is a really cool creative space for creative people. And so, you know, it's kind of awesome to make a record in this case. And it's kind of awesome to be able to Zoom people for the TV show, because people, their guards are down, they're in their homes. And so, you know, Brandon and I are hustling definitely around the ranch, trying to make it happen. And I 100%, none of this would be happening without my partner in crime. So
Absolutely. What about you, Blake? How are things in your neck of the woods?
Well, Gwen's mostly helped. Gwen's brother is here, and that's who's been doing all the this stuff.
Yeah, because honey, that chainsaw didn't do much for you, did it?
No, it didn't. If he wasn't here, I'd be screwed. Gwen's been doing hair and makeup for me. She likes doing that stuff. I think from what I know,
nice these days.
From what I know of the five of us, the coolest thing I know that's happening is that Jackson, Carson's oldest boy, who's been doing all his camera stuff and things when we do the happy hours.
teleprompter.
It's so funny to me to know that, because I've known him since he was barely walking, I guess, to know that he's now Carson's camera guy at the house. That's my favorite thing that's happening with this in-home stuff.
Oh, I love that. So then, Carson, then that takes me to you, buddy. So it sounds like you have fully enlisted the family except for the newborn.
Yeah, well, Siri's been busy with Goldie, doing their thing, and we're in California now. I'm the only one that's traveled for the show from New York with everybody, and so my kids are still in school in New York. So I get up at 3:30 to do the Today Show, and I have to wake the 11-year-old graphics department on the Today Show, Jackson, up to do his thing for Pop Start. So he's been extra busy. He's been contributing to Nightly News with Lester Holt on their Kids Edition YouTube channel.
Oh,
So
wow.
like, and I'm also shooting The Voice in our pool house. So like, there's a good chunk of NBC broadcasting coming from this house in Pasadena.
Way to go.
I actually interviewed Lester. That's a really cool thing he's doing with kids right now. That's awesome.
I love it. Listen, we've had to turn off the news, any news, when we have an 11-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a newborn in the house, and some of the information that's coming out on screen, about deaths and cases and questions are being asked, and we want to handle the questions in a private setting with the kids where we can explain it. But his Nightly News on YouTube, they take all that into consideration, and so it's really great for kids.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's so wonderful to hear. You guys are doing great stuff over there at NBC. Now, how are things in the house for you there, Nick Jonas? How are things going, and how's maybe Priyanka helping you guide your remaining
Tell them
team?
about the barista.
Oh, so jealous.
I know I did see that tonight.
Well, I can't take full credit for the barista.
Nick's living at a Starbucks.
I mean, basically, one of Priyanka's cousin sister's husband is quarantined with us, so we've got kind of some of her family with us here since we went to quarantine a couple months ago, and he helped me with the barista bit. He is basically a barista and helped me do that. But we've been really fortunate. She's incredibly busy in her own right and has been doing a lot for India, as well as her work here, and she's trying to do all she can there, and I've been trying to help in that sense. And then when I get over here, kind of like Blake as well, she's been helping me with my hair put some powder on my face if I look a little shiny. And, it's my first season on the show, and this is obviously a very unique way for all of us to be doing it. But the fact that they figured out a way for us to continue, I think has meant a lot to all of us. And obviously having our families and our support systems intact has been a really incredible thing. And certainly sort of, in my sense at least, made me feel more connected to my wife and our extended family that are here with us in quarantine. And we feel really fortunate, and just sending good vibes and positivity and well wishes to everyone that's, working so hard on those front lines, and hopefully finding some encouragement and light in the show on Monday and Tuesday nights.
I have a question actually for Blake. And since this is the first time that 5 artists are in the finale, Blake, I'm wondering, how does it feel to have that extra team member going into the finale next week? And does it add any pressure to you as their coach?
I'm sorry, Sloth is now here for the interview.
Yeah, take it away, Chewbacca.
Trying to decide how honest to be here.
He has more rehearsals he has to do.
Well, and sometimes I'm like,
That's
I don't
what he's
know if
really
it's fair or
thinking.
not, but sometimes when you have more people in the finale, it can affect the voting. Like,
Well, that's what I was going to say. You're right. There's been a lot of talk amongst us coaches over the last, I say, seasons, last few years. That, if you have multiple people in the finale, it kind of splits up your vote, and could affect, whether you win or not. And then so I think about that, and then I think about the last few seasons that I haven't won anything. I have had multiple people, I think, in as many of the last few seasons as I can think of. I think one of them I had 3.
you did.
Yeah, that's the one Maylin won.
That's the one that John did. So now the exception to that, which shall live on forever, is the season or 2 that I had multiple people in it, and I beat Adam multiple times. It just shows how unpopular he was. Maybe that's what it attributes to. But
I will say though, but Blake, most of the time you have
I'm looking at all these faces on the screen here, and these are all very popular people. And so as I'm happy for my team, I'm going, wow, it's a lot easier to love these people compared to how easy it was to hate Adam.
I will say.
You have the only female.
Yes, you do.
Hey, man, girls like me, Kelly. What do you want me to say? Yeah.
Some girls. Some girls do. That's a good song.
Yes.
I don't know if I answered your question.
He's afraid his votes are split. That's what it is. That's the answer.
But I will say though, Blake, usually you have country artists going.
Look, we all know on this call that I'm the best coach on this show.
I'm hanging up. How do you hang up?
Leave
Right,
room.
that
Video, mute.
people. I don't want it to affect my team. I'm hoping for first and second. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck, buddy.
Wondering, since you guys are used to having a live audience, do you ever call in your family or whomever you're isolating with and ask them to sit down in front of you and watch you guys while you're doing the show?
My family
That's
is
funny.
so over my jobs. They're so over it.
Mine is too. Mine's over it.
I impress no one in my family.
Occasionally Luna will drop in and try to wave to the camera and like go up here like this, and that's about it. But she hasn't done it during any of the live shows yet, but she's done it in some of my rehearsals.
Yeah, I mean, Pri is such a big fan of the show and has been for a very long time that if I tell her, because, obviously we're sort of time delayed here in LA, if I tell her what happened, she gets so mad at me. So I
must watch it.
Remain quiet when I walk back after we wrap up, go and try to act like nothing happened. Then we go watch it live or whatever the broadcast is. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm in the house for sure.
That's funny.
For me personally, when we go live, I am completely naked from the waist down.
Nice.
Nothing on. So we don't have any kids or any family members. I feel more comfortable. I feel more free that
Yeah.
way.
Have there been any close calls with you being pantsless? Have there been any close calls on camera?
Wow, good question.
I sneezed at one point and there was some floppage, but it didn't get in. Didn't make it onto the camera. So
It wouldn't. It wouldn't. It'd be physically impossible.
Hopefully everybody at home has some binoculars. So.
oh no!
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, out. All right. Thank you, everybody.